Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about buying and flipping properties. Buying and flipping properties. So let's just jump right into it. So I talked to you about this before, that most investors fail because they buy the properties wrong, they can't finish it on time and in budget, and they can't sell the property, right? And so we solve all those problems through this training. Number one, when you buy the property wrong, that means you paid too much money for the property, right? So you found a seller, but they wasn't that motivated, right? Or you negotiated a deal that there was too much money that you spent on the property because your rehab budget was originally $25,000, but once you closed it, you owned the property, you opened up walls, and now you have termite damage, and the termite damage is totally going to cost you $45,000, but you only got a $25,000 budget. I see that happen all the time, and that's what you want to avoid. So we have systems in place and strategies in place that help you to avoid that and have that solution before you even have that problem. So in other words, you want to find motivated sellers, not just sellers, motivated sellers. Well, Randy, what is motivated sellers? Well, the motivated seller could be somebody that's facing foreclosure, right? The bank sent the sheriff knocked on the door, your house is going to a sheriff's sale. Number two, they got a job out of town, so they got to move real quick. They can't afford to have two mortgages. Three, they're going through a divorce. Four, they might have death in the family, they inherited the property, they don't want it. They might have code enforcement leads on the city, and the city is directing them to take the property at an auction. Whatever that motivation is, you have to determine it. So now, as they're motivated to sell, you're able to get a deeper discount. So you're finding these motivated sellers. So once you have that marketing campaign in place, people are calling you, emailing you, texting you, right? So now you're evaluating that deal. You want to make sure what's the after repair value, ARV, what that property could sell for after you repaired it. You want to get comparables, comps in that area that's recent, that's similar to that property. So if that property is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,800 square feet, then you want to have comparables that sold maybe 3 to 6 in that particular area, in that 1 block radius, 2 block radius, 3 block radius, etc. in the last 30 days to 6 months, right? Preferably in the last 30 days if you have those comparables. So now when you have those comparables, you know exactly it's proven. Remember, what my favorite book says, prove all things. You can't guesstimate at these things. You can't guess, you can't hope, you can't wish. You have to know. You have to be proven. So what is the comparables? What houses sold that's similar and they sold recently in my area? Secondly, once you determine that number, you say, oh great, I can sell this house for $300,000. Perfect, it's proven. This house at this address sold, this house at this address sold, this house at that address sold for $320, this one sold for $305, this one sold for $299. You get my point, right? So then you want to look at days on market. How long have these houses that sold was on the market? How many days it was on the market? DOM, right? So if they've been on the market 325 days, 285 days, that might be a home or a neighborhood you want to leave alone, because the last thing you want to do is hold on to the house for months. You don't want that. But if you look at days on market, it's been 2 days, 3 days, 30 days, 60 days, 45 days. Hey, jump on that thing. So now you have a good days on market, you have a good after repair value that's proven. Now you might be asking, well, Randy, where do I get this information from? Well, one, you could look on certain websites, realtortrack.com, I believe the name of it. You can go there, it's free, you get access to some comparables. They do have like a little small membership that you can pay. I'm not endorsing them, I'm just giving you some examples. Zillow, you can jump on Zillow, it's not that accurate, but it just gets you in a ballpark, you know what I'm saying? Redfin.com, etc. But the best thing to do if you're new and you're not used to this, then get with a realtor. Get with a realtor in your local area that's good at working with investors like you. Not all realtors are good at working with investors, right? Not all realtors are good. Realtors are in the business to buying or to representing buyers and sellers, right? But they got access to what's called the MLS, multi-listing system. This multi-listing system, or MLS, is all across the country, no matter what city you're in. Your realtor can log in there and see what houses are on the market and what houses have sold, and they can pull down those comparables for you, just like the appraiser would do, right? So they can do what is called a CME, cost market analysis and give that to you. Most of the time they don't charge anything because they want to build a rapport with you, build a relationship with you. Just don't take advantage of it, having them pulling 10 comparables on 10 houses. You want to build a relationship, give them value, in return they'll give you value. So that's how you get your hands on the comparables. So once you determine the after repair value, you got the days on market, so now you want to get your rehab budget in place. If you're experienced, now you know how to write your own rehab budget up. You know what the cost of your kitchen cabinet is going to be, the flooring, the paint, etc. But if you're new, you don't know, then you want to get you a reliable contractor. And we talked about this in great details in the video that's called Hiring Contractors. So you basically want to get referrals from people who have already used this contractor before. You want to have them give you a referral. You want to see their work. You want to use the proper paperwork in place, right? Because you got to make sure that contractor is finishing your work on time and in budget. So I would suggest you go back and watch that video training called Hiring Contractor for more details. So now that you got your rehab budget, what it's going to be, it's pretty tight, right? You have your after repair value, you have that's pretty tight. So now you can evaluate that deal to see if it makes sense. So we have a deal analyzer that we use, and we share that with you already in other videos. A deal analyzer is an Excel file sheet, right? And what happens is you put in the after repair value in there, you put in the contractor rehab budget in there, you put in all your expenses that's associated in there, your hard money lending fees, your 10% or 12%, your 4 origination points, your title and settlement fees to buy the property, the title and settlement fees to sell the property, your realtor fees that you're gonna offer your realtors, your utility bills, monthly bills, $50 for your energy bill, $30 for your water bill. So all the expenses that associated, your gas, everything, right? Your marketing budget, staging, right? How you want to put that into your deal analyzer, and it's going to spit out an estimated pre-tax net profit. And so when you look at that net profit, you say, okay, well, I can make $50,000 off this deal after I pay everything. Or you might say, man, I'm only making $8,000 off this deal. That's not worth it to me to make $8,000 off this deal. So after you do the deal analysis and you want to make it $8,000 or $5,000 after you work so hard for it, then you say, man, that deal is not working. You move on to the next one. But if you see making $35,000, $40,000, $50,000, $80,000, then you say, okay, this numbers make sense. This is a deal maker. Let's move forward, right? So now you decided to move forward. You have your private money lender in place. So if that person's gonna fund 100% of your rehab and your purchase price, great. If you need hard money, right, you're gonna pull in that hard money loan down, contact my office. We're gonna help you with the application, get you to the underwriter, right? We're gonna give them that deal analysis. We're gonna give them the scenario, and then we're gonna lend you the majority of that money. Either 80% of that money we're gonna lend you if you are investor, or either 90% we're gonna lend you. So you're either gonna put 10 or 12% down depending on your experience, right? And so we can help you to get that hard money loan. Now, if you have your money that you're gonna put in for the down payment, great. If you're gonna borrow that money from a private investor, that's great, right? However you're gonna put your down payment on, we just gotta structure it strategically, right? So now you got your hard money loan. The hard money is gonna pay off the seller, right? At the table, the seller get their money, they're out of the picture. Your rehab budget is gonna go into an escrow account for you, right? So now, once you close the house, you can immediately start to work on a home. The escrow doesn't disperse anything for you to get started with. It's more of a reimbursement. So you have to have your own cash to pull your permits, get the dumpster out there, start to do your demo, etc. Whatever line item that you have on your construction budget, your rehab budget, you're gonna do it first, call in for inspection. The inspector is gonna go out, evaluate that the property, the items that you're requesting to be reimbursed on is in fact done and finished, and then they're gonna reimburse you what you spent. And that's gonna go on. You're gonna take that money that you got back as reimbursement, and you're gonna go to the next phase. Call in for inspection. The inspector is gonna come out, verify, and they're gonna disperse to you that particular money. And that's gonna go on all the way to that rehab budget is depleted. So now once the rehab budget is depleted, now at that point, you have the product up. It's a beautiful product, and now you're marketing for an end buyer. right? Hopefully, if you follow some of our strategies, you already have the end buyer in place already, so you can save on some realtor fees. But if you don't, now it's time to do some marketing on the MLS. Get your realtor partner, let them list it, right? And so now you get that property sold, it's out of your inventory. So now you take this chunk of change that you earn, and you want to take that money and pay down your debts, right? Or lower your debts. Go back and do the same thing. Go get you another property. Take that profit that you made and pay the remaining of your debt off, right? Lower your expenses for your living expenses. Now you don't have to keep flipping all the time. If you want to, you can. Hey guys, you know, you got the skill set, go and make that thing happen. You got the team, you got the resources, make it happen. But you might say, man, I just want to start holding for cash flow and generate monthly residual income without fixing and flipping, right? So whatever your strategy is for your family, but that is the process of buying and flipping your properties. So again, we have the resources for you for the hard money lending. We got the resources for your credit restoration, getting your end buyers in place. So having said that, guys, I hope this information was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.